The MCAT suite is an interactive study suite designed for the MCAT whose mission is to reduce barriers for scoring well on the test, because your score should reflect your effort and not your socioeconomic status. The design of the suite is based upon a quote from Socrates: "The only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing." For that reason, the suite is designed to assess what you know and don't know with free resources in conjunction with AMC and UWorld, the only two purchases worth your money.
The MCAT is an 8-hour marathon divided into 4 sections: chemistry and physics, critical analysis and reading, biology and biochemistry, and psychology and sociology. While CARS doesn't have content to review, the other sections have a lot of content. Students are often confused on what they need to learn. The AMC, thankfully, released a document called What's on the MCAT that divides into content categories from 1A to 10A. On the MCAT suite, we've taken these content categories and converted them into a content calendar that orders them in groups based upon their priority. For example, atoms and molecules, 4E, form the basis of both the CP and biochem section, and therefore appears first in Group 1, which is Foundations of Chemistry. Each of these blocks are designed to be gone through in one full day of work, but it is self-paced for students that are still in school or simply don't have the time to spend 8 hours studying in one day. It's divided into content, practice, and review. You can choose to watch a video on the subject, doing a reading, or using Kaplan. Once you're done, you just check mark it off. Afterwards, you would have review, which can be done through a free flashcard software known as Anki. The suite has videos for you to access to explain how Anki works. Then, finally, you have practice problems. Once you do these practice problems, you would enter a score, that being the score that you received at the end of the practice problems. Let's say you did the first week. As a result, at the end of the first week, you can go to the front page, the dashboard, and see on one page how much of the content you've mastered. By the end of this week, it should be filled out and should have a good approximation of your knowledge. For example, it seems that I'm quite good at periodic trends and nucleophiles, but quite poor at molecules and IMFs. So I know when it comes to targeted flashcard review, I should focus on molecules and IMFs. Along with learning science content, we have a CARS tracker with direct links to Jack Weston passages that provide insights to your score progress over time and the time taken per passage, so you can see if you're actually improving or not. There's a graph that appears for that, and an AMC tab for when you get into the AMC's CARS content, so you can track your progress there as well. Along with the content schedule in the CARS section, there's also an application schedule. It has nothing yet, and that's okay. It's built adaptively around your practice tests. Up until this point, everything you need for the suite has been free. However, the adaptive application schedule was built with AMC and UWorld because there aren't very many, if any, high-quality free practice problems. Here we use AMC. We recommend buying the AMC Complete Bundle, which comes out to $268, and we highly recommend UWorld for either $319 or $349, depending on how long you need it. If you can't afford this, then we suggest buying AMC's practice exams individually and still using the sample test section of the suite to take up your exams. So let's activate the application suite. Let's say you took the unscored sample test. After you take the exam, this is mine by the way, you can go to your score report and recent exam. Each of these questions have an area to look at the content category that you specifically missed. Here, I missed something with solutions. When I go back to my MCAT suite, I can click the sample test section, I can click the unscored exam because that was the one I took, and then write down the section of the question I got wrong, the question number, the content category, as well as fill in my thought process and the corrected thought process. For this question, I didn't really know the content, so I'm going to select the error type as content. Now, something really cool happens once I fill this out with the rest of the questions that I got wrong. When you go back to the application schedule, you should have automatically generated a week of content using UWorld and AMC that targets and order the subjects you missed. For example, if I missed 4 questions on periodic trends, the schedule prioritizes periodic trends and gives you direct UWorld questions related to it. I can enter my score for the exam, and I can track my progress over time to see if I'm making way towards my target goal, whether that's a 500 or a 520. For students limited on time, like non-trads or those with an already strong content foundation, you can actually start with the application schedule, like taking the free unscored exam, and go to the content schedule to target subjects you're weak in. Like, for example, if I took the sample exam and realized I don't know anything about periodic trends, I can go to the content schedule and do that day specifically. Lastly, there's a resources page for access to other very important resources that could benefit you as a student. I highly recommend getting involved with the community at r/MCAT.
Thank you for choosing MCAT Suite. We're founded by students and for students. As an F3C, we are a socially oriented business that functions like a nonprofit, except we're self-sustaining. While this remains free, and will continue to remain free, we might include an AI tutor in the future that could require a low premium. Ultimately, rather than make money, the goal is to create an intelligent solution to improving educational outcomes. If you believe in our mission and want to help, please reach out. Other than that, good luck studying.